Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Let's Talk Politics. You are coming live from the islands of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Tonight, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the people of Grand Turk, Salt Keys, South Caicos, Middle Caicos, North Caicos, and indeed right here in Providenciales. I also like to take this time to welcome our viewers globally, especially Turks Islanders residing in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, in the United States, in Canada, in London, and indeed in the rest of the world. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am proud to have here in the studio. He served as the past Chief Minister of the Turks and Caicos Islands on 2 occasions. He is definitely one of the elders, not in terms of age, but in terms of experience, one of the eldest statesmen of these Turks and Caicos Islands. Ladies and gentlemen, he've never lost in any election here in the Turks and Caicos Islands and served in the House of Assembly of Parliament, the longest serving in this region. Tonight, I am proud to introduce to you, our global viewers, Turks Islanders far and near, the Honorable O. Skippins. Good night, Honorable Skippins. Welcome to Let's Talk Politics.
Thank you very much, Mr. Malcolm. It's my pleasure to be here.
Yes, would you like to take this time to greet our global viewers?
Well, okay. It's a privilege to be able to get to you via this forum, and I guarantee you that you will be satisfied with what we have to offer today in terms of informing you of what's going on here in our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we're going to discuss one of the burning issues for the people here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. There is a high level of perceived corruption that is going on in these Turks and Caicos Islands. And for those of you who are viewing the show, I mean, the fact that you are viewing the show via the World Wide Web is a part of this corruption that is ramping here in these Turks and Caicos Islands. For this show, for the reason of speaking out, democracy has been pulled off the national airwaves here in the Turks and Caicos Islands owing to this administration, and has drove us to the point that we have to now come outside the country just to speak to the people in the country, the official opposition party. So that speaks volume as to what is really going on if we're living in a dictatorship in a country where no longer you can speak out in this nation. And so tonight, as I have here as the guest, a past Chief Minister, twice he served as the Chief Minister of these Turks and Caicos Islands. And he, more than anyone else, understands the rule of government, serving as Chief Minister, dealing with loan agreement, dealing with the British government, dealing with all levels of governance. Tonight, he is here to help shed some light as to what is really going on in these Turks and Caicos Islands. Honorable Skippins, let me start off tonight by asking you, as a former Chief Minister of the Turks and Caicos Islands and a former head of your cabinet, and in terms of your ministerial cabinet, how is it that this corruption is able to go on in this Turks and Caicos Islands under the nose of the governor or under the nose of the British government?
Mr. Malcolm, a few weeks ago, I had a phone call, and I was asked if I was watching the local channel, Channel 4, WIV, and I asked why, and the caller said, because Mike is on Education and You, that's the program. Well, they said it looks like the governor, he's white, his accent is British, but he sounds like Mike for what he's saying.
So he sounds like the premier?
Right, sounds like the premier. Well, I guess after watching it and realizing that Dolly the sheep was successfully cloned, and knowing what's going on between the governor and the PNP administration, I figured that this was possibly the next cloning project. Mike the Dr. Premier and Mike the Dr. Governor, and the one and the same person. Another successful cloning experiment, except this one was bigger and better.
Oh my goodness, I'm skipping.
And so as a result of that, there were some questions that are being asked by the public, and indeed by myself. And if I may proceed with some of those questions.
Well, I mean, for the benefit of our global viewers, especially Turks Islanders that are residing outside of these Turks and Caicos Islands, I think they'll be more interested in hearing some of these questions that the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands are asking in their minds.
Okay, one of those questions, why is it that the Governor on Education and Youth, that same program that I just referred to on Monday, 18th February, insisted on all complaints of corruption being sent to him as opposed to being sent to the committee in the UK? And he stated that the FCO will send them back to him anyway. Why insist on being sent to him when they gave an email and a hard address where information could be sent directly to him?
But the committee made it clear, Honorable Skippins, that none of this information will be forwarded to the governor. So
why? The question is, why should he insist that the public send the information to him, saying that they'll send it back to him anyway, when he knows that is not the case? Maybe
so that the Premier can get a hold of who is sending.
Or perhaps the information would never reach where it should go in the first place. Anyway, question number 2. Why is it that the governor followed Mike's, the Premier's, divisive political behavior and rented an expensive condo in Provo for him and his family at the people's expense, whereby he crudely and blatantly violated Westminster's protocol when Grand Turk is the seat of government and the governor's official residence is located at Waterloo, Grand Turk? That's another question that's being asked, and a justifiable question. It's a violation of Westminster's protocol, and he knows that. After such flagrant diplomatic and financial abuse, renting this expensive condo, it is not at all surprising that a governor would so eagerly defend an ailing economy and so readily promote burdensome taxation and unnecessary onerous borrowing, like the hospitals, and we'll get back to that. Doesn't it all go with his readiness to waste government funds and live like a Hollywood celebrity himself? For just like the Premier, Grand Turk is not good enough for them. It's as simple as that.
Well, you know, we bought a home over there for him that he probably never slept in the other day in Grand Turk.
And that's another matter that we'll have to deal with at a later time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But anyway, the questioning goes on. Why is it that the governor, who is responsible for law and order and good governance, why would he allow the integrity bill to pass through the Executive Council to be submitted to Parliament with a clause that disallows a member of government, including a minister, to be investigated within 2 years, or disallows